Hello student, this is Ashish Vegadava. Today we will learn thyristor commutation in the subject power electronics. Let's move to the content of this topic. In this topic we will learn class B commutation. It is also called self-commutated by LC circuit, and we will learn class C commutation, and it is also called switched by another load carrying SCR or complementary commutation. Let's start with the class B self-commutated by LNC circuit commutation. The major difference in between class A and class B thyristor commutation is that LC is connected in series with the SCR in class A. The major difference in between class A and class B commutation is that in this technique, in class A commutation, LC circuit is connected in series with the SCR, whereas in class B commutation, LC circuit is connected in parallel with the SCR. So this is a circuit diagram of class B commutation. As per this diagram, we have connected one SCR, LC branch across the SCR, and we have one load, and that is LR load. So we have connected one freewheeling diode across the LR load to freewheel energy of the inductor, and it is connected with the one DC supply. So before triggering on the SCR, this capacitor is charged up to supply voltage. So let's say if we have not triggered this SCR, then supply voltage will come to this positive supply to the inductor, to this capacitor, and upper plate of this capacitor will going to charge as a positive. So now if we trigger this SCR, then if the SCR is triggered or given triggering pulse, then the resulting current has two components. The constant load current will flow through the RL load and ensued by the large reactance connected in series, and the load which is clamped with freewheeling diode. So it means when SCR will trigger, then large current will flow through this load, and this inductor will store very large amount of energy such that when SCR will be turned off, then this energy will be dissipated by this freewheeling diode. So during starting, if you have not triggered SCR, at that time this capacitor will charged, and upper plate of capacitor will be charged up to this supply voltage. If we trigger the SCR, then this capacitor will going to discharge through this SCR. Simultaneously the supply will be come across this SCR and the load. So SCR will get current from the two source, that is from the supply, and the second one is from the capacitor. At that time, the time when this capacitor will discharge through this inductor, through this SCR, simultaneously this capacitor will going to charge in reverse direction. It means the current will flow from this inductor, SCR, and the bottom plate of the SCR. So this bottom plate will be going to charge as a positive, and upper plate will be going to negative. So when this capacitor will going to fully charge, total current flowing through the SCR becomes zero, with the reverse current flowing through the SCR opposing the load current for a small fraction of negative swing, so that this capacitor will be charged in negative direction. It means, suppose if you have not triggered the SCR, before that this capacitor will going to charge, the upper plate of this capacitor will be positive. If we trigger this SCR, then this capacitor will discharge through this SCR. Same time the supply will be passed through this SCR. So same time this capacitor and the supply will be going to charge this capacitor in reverse direction. So current flowing through the SCR will be supply current and same time discharge current of this capacitor, and the same current will flow through this load, and across the load we have connected one freewheeling diode, and this freewheeling diode is used to dissipate the energy of this inductor, because very high amount of di by dt will generate when the current will become zero through this inductor. So bottom plate of this capacitor will going to charge as positive. When this capacitor will be fully charged, at that time this SCR will get reverse voltage across it, such that current through this SCR will be going to less than holding current, and it will appear reverse voltage such that this SCR will be going to turn off after some time duration. This commutation technique is widely used for chopper circuit, and the chopper is device which convert DC supply into variable DC supply. This is the brief view of waveform of this commutation. So this is a circuit diagram. Same, we have connected one SCR, LNC component, one load, and as a load we have considered RL load, and we have connected it with the supply. So it having four waveform total, that is gate current, load current, current passed through this SCR, and voltage across this SCR. If we trigger this SCR, then gate current we have to supply such that same time if the SCR will be triggered, same time this load will get current which is IL. So up to this 0 to this duration, this load current will flow. The same time current will pass through this SCR will be 0. At midpoint it will become maximum. Again at this point again it will become 0, because this capacitor going to charge in reverse direction, and this capacitor current is going to reduce the current will pass through this SCR. Let's see how this kind of peak will occur in this SCR. When the capacitor will going to discharge through this load, this peak will appear in the load. When this capacitor will discharge, same time this SCR will going to appear some reverse voltage and some reverse current will flow through the SCR. So this reverse voltage and this reverse current will going to turn off the SCR. So this way, using LNC component we can achieve commutation. Let's say class C commutation. In the previous circuit we have observed that in that commutation only one SCR is required, but in class C commutation it required two SCR. One is main SCR and second is auxiliary SCR. So this is a circuit diagram of class C commutation. It having two resistance, that is R1 and R2. In between we have connected one capacitor, and it having two SCR, that is SCR1 and SCR2. And SCR1 is main SCR and SCR2 is auxiliary SCR. SCR1 is considered as a main SCR and SCR2 is considered as an auxiliary SCR. So in this kind of commutation, both of the SCR is going to carry the load current, and they can be designed with the 4 SCR with the load and the capacitor by using the current source for supplying an integral converter. Let's understand how this circuit will work. Suppose during starting, if you have not triggered SCR2 and we have triggered SCR1, then the current will flows from the supply R1 SCR1 and return back to the minus point, negative point. Same time this capacitor will be going to charge positive at this side. Same time left side of capacitor will be going to charge positive and right side of capacitor will be going to charge negative. So current will flows from the supply R2 and this capacitor. Now after some duration, if we trigger this SCR2, then this capacitor is going to discharge through this SCR2. Voltage across this capacitor will going to appear across the SCR1, and it will turn off the SCR1 because cathode of the SCR1 is connected with the positive and the anode of the SCR1 is connected with the negative, such that it will turn off this SCR1, and the same time SCR2 will get current from the supply which will pass through this R2. So in this kind of commutation we have to shift load current from SCR1 to SCR2 by just using capacitor in this manner. When the SCR2 is on, so this capacitor will going to charge in reverse direction and it will charge through this R1. So right side of this capacitor will be positive and left side of this capacitor will be negative, and after some duration it will turn off this SCR2 because anode of this SCR2 will going to connect with the negative of this capacitor. So this way we can achieve commutation by using complementary SCR. It is widely used in single phase inverter with the center tapped transformer. Also it is used in MC Murray Bedford inverter. Generally it is used for frequency which is less than 1000 Hz. So this is a brief view of the waveform of class C commutation. So during starting we have supplied Ig1. So during starting we have given pulse to this SCR1. So SCR1 will going to conduct and the load current will pass through this R, and same time load current will pass through this RL, and the current will pass through this R will going to charge this capacitor. So here we have shown the value of IR1. When this SCR1 will be triggered, this IR1 will flow, this IR will flow through this resistance. So up to this point it will going to carry the current. Now if we trigger the SCR2, then the current will be shift from SCR1 to the SCR2. So here if we trigger the SCR2, then also it will take current from the source, and the total amount of current will pass through this SCR2 will going to increase. Same time, the reverse voltage will be going to appear across the SCR1 because of the charging of the capacitor in reverse direction. So this amount of reverse voltage will going to appear across the capacitor and it will turn off the SCR1. Let's see question for assignment. The first one is explain class B commutation in brief, and the second one is explain class C commutation in brief. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, please subscribe and like our YouTube channel LJB Electrical, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to get latest video update fast.